Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Now, Rivera basically said he said at a meeting. He said on Tuesday he basically made a comment. He raised a lot of eyebrows, which of course, because everybody for some reason wants to tear down Eric Bieniemy. And this is why nobody respects black athletes. That's why nobody cares about y'all, because you guys don't stick behind your coaches. Now, there are some coaches that are trash that are black head coaches. There are some that are trash that are white head coaches. But to me, the majority is whites. So they're able to coach longer with a bigger leeway than black coaches. And LeSeanmcCoy, who's a sambo and an idiot and a drunk, basically goes on these tirades to basically tear down a black coach, which all these black athletes do. He's not the first one. And Rivera said on Tuesday that players approached him and were a little concerned about Eric Bieniemy's his message. They were, a little bit, concerned. And the concernment is that these guys are soft. All of these NFL players as men are soft. And that's why a lot of them don't last long outside after the league. That's why a lot of them fail in life. And it's not just them as athletes altogether. Whenever there's a black coach trying to preach authority and trying to change the mindset, they look down on that because they're so used to massa, which is a white head coach telling them what to do, or a white head coach trying to play dad or father to them, because a lot of them, I'm not going to say a lot, some of them have fatherless homes. So they look towards the white guy as the authority figure, as the guy who they are accustomed to letting the whip be cracked against them. And this is the mindset that has been going on before I was born, but before a lot of us that's on the internet were born. And then, he wanted to and then Ron Rivera basically came out Wednesday, saying I own my comments about player concerns over Eric Bieniemy's intensity. And he basically says I clarify comments made Tuesday regarding players' concern over new offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. I wasn't as clear as I probably needed to be. You're never clear, Ron. That's why they gave you the position, because you ain't nothing but a do-boy. You're a kiss ass. You did Cam dirty. You messed his career up. You weren't even trying to protect Cam. So I don't expect you to protect Eric Bieniemy. And everybody blasted you because they're like, dog, you're basically making it seem like he a tyrant. Then you got goofies like LeSeanmcCoy, who's going out to the Dallas Cowboys practice yesterday because he was called out by a reporter about his comments about Dak. Dog, he knows what he's doing. He's a shock jock. That's why they didn't hire your bum ass with Undisputed, because you're a shock jock. You're an idiot. Your takes are very stupid and bland. I could go to somebody on the couch and ask them. I'm on the couch and I know more about football than your dumb ass. Just because Dak struggles in big games doesn't mean he's ass. It just means that he's not the guy. He's not really the guy who can make those plays. He can't. That doesn't mean he's ass water. You got all these other quarterbacks who can't even make the playoffs, which with an owner who basically is the coach. I saw him at Oxnard yesterday, and he's basically the coach, but I done sidetracked. So he basically said I wasn't as clear as I probably needed to be. I've said many times since I hired Eric, I love the overall message that he gave the team his first day. And that was basically, we've got to learn to be comfortable when we're uncomfortable. Rivera said while reading from a prepared statement in Wednesday practice. Why are you reading a prepared statement, you idiot? See, this is what I'm talking about. This fakeness. You don't need a statement. Speak from your heart. I get tired of people with all these goddamn statements after you put your foot in your damn mouth. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing. Here comes the sabotage. And this is why nobody feels sorry for you football players when you get CTE. We don't feel sorry for you when you get screwed over in your contracts because you guys are idiots. You're jarheads. You're a bunch of lugs. That's what they think of football players. You're the idiots. You guys are the dummies. That's what everybody think about y'all. And you got these football players doing dumbass podcasts with all these jokings and talking like, man, we real, like we do this, we real and everything. Sounding like they got a third grade degree. It's pitiful to me how a lot of these coaches can't get an opportunity. Give them a chance. You give all these recycled, sorry-ass white coaches chances, these white quarterback chances. Soon as they retire, you guys got a big money for them waiting. You got different jobs for them waiting. And Eric Bieniemy has always been, not Eric Bieniemy, but Ron Rivera has always been a snake like this. So he goes on and continues to say is that, and I think what happens for those guys on the side of the ball, they are uncomfortable. There's been a lot of change. Change is hard, and I've always encouraged our players to have a great dialogue and build relationships with our staff. Since those conversations took place with Eric and the players, I've seen the improvements, and I can honestly say that the last couple of practices probably have been the best of training camp, which I think is great. To me, that displays a team is beginning to embrace the message and approach to how he does things and how we want things done. And basically, Ron Rivera basically said, I basically told him I put my foot in my mouth. I think what I said wasn't as clear as it needed. And I think the understanding of it is just the fact that I think everybody is making, in my opinion, a little more than it needs to be. And I agree with this person right here. Rivera sounded defensive. Here, WH. Rivera sounded defensive, especially in the exchange with you. Not a good look. This follow-up statement has made things even worse for him, in my opinion. WH, your opinion is correct. Rivera should have just shut up. You shouldn't have said nothing about it in the first place. You idiot. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I don't understand it. It's crazy. It is crazy. And then you got bums like LeSean McCoy. LeSean, your career was overrated. Okay? It was overrated. You fell off a cliff. You tried to blame everybody else. You have an axe to grind with Eric Bieniemy because Eric Bieniemy told you to hold on to the football better. When you kept fumbling, he took your ass out. Just like Tyreek Hill exposed your ass on Twitter and all the other platforms. You didn't say shit back to Tyreek Hill. You didn't say shit back to those cheese players. Andy Reid even came out and defended Eric Bieniemy by saying, well, some players just don't understand when it's time for them that their time is done. And that was your time. If Andy Reid cared so much about you, LeSean, why didn't he defend you? Why didn't he force you to be on the field? He's the head coach. He got the last of the decision. He got the last say. You know why? Because you were a bum. You were done. You were done like every old athlete. You aged out. You were good your first 5, maybe 6 years. But after that, dog, you was overrated. You were a flash in the pan. You were very quick, could run between the tackles. You could make some good cuts. You were fast after you broke. But what did that amount to? What did that amount to? Nothing. The only thing I agree with you in your whole career is what you said about Chip Kelly. That was it. Other than that, you don't know shit about what you're talking about. Now, Ron Rivera has continuously, you cannot double down. You can't say things like this. And this is why Ron Rivera has never been a great coach to me. He throws his guys under the bus. He throws them under the bus. Just like Jeff Fisher, just like any of these high pride, loud white men. And I'm so sick and tired of these sorry ass athletes treating these coaches, especially black coaches, like shit. If the black coach suck, then I will tell you they suck. I will tell you they're not that good. But when you don't give them a chance to actually have a full 3 seasons or 4 seasons to actually coach or implement their style, it takes about 5 seasons in order for your team to be on the right path. Because the first season, you got to see who you're going to keep. Second season, you can start to bring in your own guys. Third season, you done got rid of all them guys. Now you got all your guys in. Fourth season, I say 4 seasons, not 5, 4. Fourth season, you should be taking off because now you got all your guys on the team. And everybody got a year under their belt, the main guys that you kept. So these are the things that I believe that a lot of these athletes don't understand. And this is why they continuously get screwed over in the NFL. When somebody's bringing intensity and passion to you, people love to take that as a negative when it comes to a black man. When it comes to a black man, it's a negative connotation. And that's something that really pisses me off. Like when I'm at work and stuff, I don't like none of my coworkers. You know why I don't like none of their asses? Because they always walk up to me like, oh man, you always seem like you mad. You always seem like you're mad. See, that's a stigma put in their brain. So I play along with it. Yeah, I am mad. Yeah. That's a stigma that they were put on their head of black men, how they think about it. But if I tell them what we were taught about them being wetbacks, being stank, being nothing but immigrants, jumping walls and shit and fences, they would get upset and then I would end up losing my job. So that's why I don't mingle with a lot of them at work. I only mingle with a couple people because the people I talk to, they don't approach me that way. They approach me as a man. But all the other Mexican drivers, they come at me with very, to me, bad discord, and that's why I don't really chill with them. That's why I don't like them. That's why I don't try to go out with them, go chill. Like my boy Turner, shout out to him. You know, my boy, he basically trying to tell me to go out with them. I'm like, all right, whatever. I did that on purpose. I left because I didn't want to be around them. They don't like black people. I don't like them. So what's the point of us chilling and staying with each other? So those are little things that you have to pick up on. And those are things I pick up on. That's why I don't really mess with them. And that's why a lot of the brothers that are in the warehouse are divided because they're scared to speak up against massa in there. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like, my mind and how I think and how I look at things is totally different from what the average person looks at. But these comments by Ron Rivera were stupid, distasteful, and terrible. And in my opinion, if something happens with Washington this year, watch what I tell you. They're going to blame Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy is going to be the fall guy, but nobody's going to point to Ron Rivera, who screwed the Panthers up, and Cam Newton, who's going to screw this team up. Thank you guys for listening, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit that notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. If you love what you hear, you can donate to the page by going to the description box, hitting that link that goes to my Cash App to donate whatever your heart's desire. If you guys have a Zelle, I have a number that's in the description box that you guys can use on Zelle to find me and donate there, or you guys can super chat when we go live or premiere, and you guys can also leave a super thanks. So thank you guys for your love and blessings. I'm out. Deezy.